simplify our radicals. Now starting with this one, we need to simplify the square root of 112. I'm going to start with 2 times 56. 2 is prime and 56 is 7 times 8, which will give me 2 and 7 will come down. This is 2 times 4. So now I have 2 times 7 times 2 and then 2 more. So I'll make a pair of 2's and another pair of 2's. Please don't forget the 5 that's already there. So let's bring that 5 over. Now bring a 2 out of this pair and bring a 2 out of this pair. Now notice the 7 did not have a pair, so it stays behind. 5 times 2 is 10 and 10 times 2 is 20, and that'll give me 20 square roots of 7. On the next one we have 44, which is 4 times 11, so that'll be 2 times 2 times 11. Now let's bring the 2 out with the negative that's already here, and this 11 will stay behind. Okay, now dealing with your variables, you can always divide 2 into your exponent, your index into your exponent. Okay, so since 2 will go into 7 3 times, the square root of a to the 7th will be a to the 3rd. And then whatever your remainder is how many a's will stay under the radical. And then with the y's, we can do 2 into 16. That'll go 8 times. So the square root of b to the 16th is b to the 8th. Since you have a remainder of 0, none of your b's stay under the radical. And this is your simplified answer. Number 3, let's simplify 108. 2 times 54, we have 2 times 6 times 9. So I can make a pair of 2's and a pair of 3's. Okay, but don't forget the 2 that's already there. So I'm going to have 2 times the 2 from this one and the 2 from this one. Okay, now going from there, let's go ahead and divide 2 into 9. That'll go 4 times with 1 left over. So that'll give me x to the 4th. And then with my y's, 2 will go into 2 1 time, and that'll give me just a regular y. With my z's, 2 will go into 14 7 times. Now under the radical, okay, notice I'm going to have this 3. I have an x left over from my division with x. I did not have a y or a z. So let's do 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12, x to the 4th, y, z to the 7th, times the square root of 3x. And that is going to be my completely simplified answer. Okay, let's go to the cubed root of 189. So with 189, I can multiply 3 times 63. And then I can take 63 and break it down into 7 times 9. Now I have my row of primes, but I'm not finding a square root this time, I'm finding a cubed root. So I need to make a group of 3 instead of a group of 2. So I can take a 3 out of this grouping, but I'll leave the 7 behind. Okay, now on this one, with 16, let's break it down. I can do 4 times 4 is 16, which is 2 times 2, and 2 times 2. So I'm going to make a pair, but since it's a negative 16, I'm going to make these 3 negative. So I'm going to take a negative 2 out of this grouping, and I'm going to leave a positive 2 behind. Now in order to do a to the 4th, you'll divide by your index into your exponent. It'll go 1 time with 1 left over. So the cubed root of a to the 4th is going to be a with 1a left behind. Now going to 320, I'll have 32 times 10, 2 times 16, and 2 times 10, or 5, sorry. So I'll have 2 times 4 times 4. Bring down that 2, and bring down our 5. And just keep on going until you get all primes. Okay, now we're going to make a group of 3 because we're finding the cubed root, and another group of 3. So we'll bring a 2 out of this group and a 2 out of this group. The 5 is going to stay behind. Now 3 will go into 15 5 times. 3 will go into 7 2 times. And we're going to have this 5 left over, and we're going to have 1 n left over. So 2 times 2 is 4. That's going to leave us with 4m to the 5th n squared. Then we have the cubed root of 5n. Okay. Now when you're adding and subtracting radicals, remember you've got to have the same radical, like radicals, and then you just add or subtract the coefficients. So 5 plus 2 is 7, so that will give me 7 square roots of 7. Number 8, we need to simplify both radicals first. So this is 36 times 2. The square root of 36 is 6, giving me 6 square roots of 2. Okay, this is 9 times 2. The square root of 9 is 3, giving me 3 square roots of 2. 6 minus 3 is 3, so we have 3 square roots of 2. Number 9, this is 16 times 3. The square root of 16 is 4, giving me 4 times 4 square roots of 3. Okay, with 147, let's do 49 times 3. So the square root of 49 is 7, and that'll give me 7 square roots of 3. Let's do 25 times 2 here. Okay, and so minus 3 times the square root of 25 is 5 square roots of 2. So I have 16 square roots of 3 minus 7 square roots of 3 minus 15 square roots of 2. Now this one is radical 2, so I can't do anything with this, but both of these are radical 3's. 16 minus 7 is 9 square roots of 3 minus 15 square roots of 2. And that's going to be our simplified answer. Don't try to add or subtract radicals that have different radicals. Number 10, 3 square roots of 5 is in good shape. It's simplified. Now 125 is 25 times 5. So the square root of 25 is 5, so that'll give me 7 times 5 square roots of 5. Okay, minus 45 is 9 times 5. The square root of 9 is 3, so that's going to give me 2 times 3. So I have 3 square roots of 5 plus 35 square roots of 5 minus 6 square roots of 5. Every one of these is a radical 5. So I can do 3 plus 35 is 38. And then 38 minus 6 is 32 square roots of 5. Okay, number 11. When you multiply, you can multiply the outsides and then the insides. So 5 times 1 is 5. The square root of 6 times the square root of 7, or 27, is 162. Now let's simplify 162. Okay, 2 times 81. 81 is a perfect square, so the square root of 81 is 9, which will give us 45 square roots of 2. Okay, here we have 7 times negative 3, which is negative 21, and then 10 times 18 is 180. So breaking this apart, we can do 18 times 10, which is 2 times 9, and 2 times 5, which is 2 times 3 times 3 times 2 times 5. So 3 times 3 is a group, and then 2 times 2 is a group. Don't forget that negative 21 times, let's bring a 2 out of this group, and a 3 out of this group. And this 5 right here, this one's going to stay behind. Okay, so negative 21 times 2 is negative 42, and then negative 42 times 3 is going to give us negative 126 times the square root of 5. Now on this last one, we have 5 times 8 is 40. X squared times x to the third is x to the 5th. Okay, so we have 10 times 4, which is 2 times 5, and 2 times 2. Okay, so that's going to give us a 2 from this pair. Now my index of 2 will go into 5 2 times, so that'll be x squared. 2 times 5 is 10, will stay behind with 1x. So 2x squared times the square root of 10x.